I need a new challenge. I've run these restaurants before. It's not enough anymore. I need to go bigger. It's time to franchise. I have tried this before. I've never succeeded on a franchise though. I'm going to start from zero and we're going to make this thing happen. Day one. First off, we got to do the start thing. Throw together a kitchen, slap in a few tables. Somebody's going to come eat, right? Yeah. But this isn't the hard part. We all know that. The hard part is planning so that your franchise will succeed. And that's something I haven't quite gotten down yet. Now, overall, my goal is to complete a Tier 5 franchise. For today, I'll settle for Tier 1 Day 10. That'll be a new milestone for me. Day 4. Here's where the forward planning really starts. We have a choice here between two things that will carry forward to all of our future restaurants. Now, the choices this time are mashed potatoes, aside obviously, and messier customers. Now, if you've played long enough, you know sides complicate your orders, it makes it harder to automate, and ultimately it does slow you down. But you get fewer customers. Messier customers will also slow you down, but for a different reason. You've seen how much food they throw on the floor. They're just going to do that even more. But it's something that we can deal with. We can mitigate this. So we're going to go with messier customers. We'll have more customers. Hopefully that'll just mean more money. And the mess is a problem for future Denali. Hey y'all, future Denali here. Yeah, about those messy customers. It's like they bring their own food to throw on the floor. What is going on? Where do you even get all of this? Well, we're committed now, so we're going to deal with it. But wow, are these guys messy. Day 5. Usually I would be very happy to have the opportunity to upgrade and automate my kitchen. And because of that, I would normally save the research desk and try to upgrade it so I can copy things later. But normally I'm going for a high day count, not a high franchise tier. Even so, I don't really need any of this other stuff. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and save the research desk, and hopefully future Denali won't be mad at me for that. We'll see. Day 6. Remember what I said about forward planning? Well, this is the single most important decision we're going to make for the entire restaurant. This is going to impact every franchise very heavily because this determines what type of atmosphere we have in our restaurant. Now, our first choice is formal. That means that we can get rid of all of the mess, which is really nice, especially since we've already got increased mess. Our other choice is affordable, which would allow us to cycle customers way faster. I think I'm going with formal. It's one that I've played before, and I love not having the mess in the end. Hey, it's future Denali again. I'm back here to complain about the mess. Yeah. These guys, messed me up, let's say. This table ordered 2 rare steaks, which, not a big deal. And I pulled one off, and usually what I do is I put it on a counter to the side, then I go get the other steak, and then I deliver both of them. Well, the mess literally tripped me up. I delivered the steak instead of putting it onto the side, and then I couldn't get back to the other steak. So I had to cook an entirely new steak while they waited at the table. It was a whole thing. But hey, they got their food. It's fine. Day 7. Getting that research desk is finally going to pay off. I have a second one, which means I can upgrade to a copy desk. And if I get any automation, I'll be able to just keep making it, which is my normal strategy. I've already mentioned I'm probably not doing that much of it this run, but a little of it wouldn't be bad. I'm also going to try out this prep station. I've never used them for steaks. Let's see if it's any good. I also wouldn't mind a faster sync. Maybe we'll do that once we get the copy desk. Day 9. Well, I'm now copying, upgrading, and discounting even more research desks. I'm not really sure why. I haven't actually had any tangible benefit from it yet, but we still got a few days. We'll see. I don't know. Did I pick wrong here? Let me know what you think in the comments. Even so, the formal stuff is starting to pay off. I've got a few decorations here, so, we're getting there. We're all right. Day 10, and we are back to this. Yeah, so we've either got a side or slower cooking. Ugh, what a choice. As before, if we add a side, it's going to complicate everything. But if we go with slower cooking, I've already been having lines. Is slower cooking even something I can survive against? To be perfectly fair, Either one of these could take a restaurant in this situation, but we're still not actually franchised yet. The restaurants aren't really that hard. I don't know. I'm trying to plan for the future here, but it's hard to know what's going to hurt us more in those later tiers. I'm going to go with the side. Again, we do get one mulligan. We can get rid of the side card. And for this restaurant, we can get through it. Day 11. Yeah, I did forget about the trash from the corn, and yesterday I almost ran out of space because I had so much trash. So I have opened a path, and I can now take the trash outside if needed. I also added a few places where I can just sort of shove it until the end of the day. Yeah, don't tell the customers that. But I also finally got something from all the research desks. I've got a Roomba. Now, the Roomba won't actually clean a mess. It does prevent messes wherever it polishes the floor, though, and it makes you move faster, which in a bigger kitchen is important. I've also realized that prep station works way better for corn than it does for steak, so it is coming in handy. Eventually, I'll want a frozen prep for that. For now, this will work. Day 13 has brought us disaster. This time I have a choice between a topping, which is basically another side, and dinner rush. I just don't think I can handle dinner rush. It's just gonna slam the restaurant every day. On the other hand, complicating the menu more is not in my favor, and I've already reserved the mulligan for the corn. This is a hard choice, but I have to go with the tomato because I don't think that I'm gonna make it through a dinner rush. Let's see what happens. I am getting concerned about the size of the kitchen. It's bigger than I want, and moving across the kitchen consumes a lot of my time, but I think we're still okay. Day 14. The good news is that now I've just got an army of Roombas cleaning my floors. So we should at least move faster, and we should be getting fewer messes too. There's also a new coffee table. That'll make the wait time a little bit more bearable for the customer and a little bit less dangerous for the restaurant. Day 15 at last. I don't have to do anything amazing here. All I have to do is not make any customers too angry, and we are good to go for the Tier 1 franchise. I did get a trash compactor, which should help with the corn, but really nothing else has changed. I just got to get through the day. And there we are. We are ready to franchise, and now we get a card that should give us a pretty good boost going into the franchises. Ideally, I would like coffee tables or conveyors or maybe one of the more exotic cards. I'm sure we'll see some of that in the future. But for now, I will take more money. Of course, I do still have to deal with the cards we've accumulated along the way. We can leave one thing behind. It has to be one of the extra foods. I can at least eventually automate the corn. It's not my favorite, but I think it's manageable. Tier 1, Day 1. We're back at the beginning of our restaurant again, but this time we are in the franchise. Now, I've already said my ultimate goal is to beat Tier 5, but if I can just get to Tier 1, Day 10, that's going to be farther than I've made it so far. And that'll be the baseline going forward. I want to improve from that point. Now, the biggest complication with the franchising is that those gold cards you get at the end add so many more customers. 30% is way more than it sounds like. And I was already rushing in my non-franchise kitchen. Even so, the first few days shouldn't be that bad. Tier 1, Day 4. Yeah, remember how I said I didn't want to complicate the menu? Well, I have a choice between another kind of steak or way more customers. We're already in a franchise. We're already going to be getting way more customers. I really don't want to compound that if I don't have to. I also don't want another dish, though. All right, well, future Denala's going to be mad at me either way. I think we have to go with the thin-cut steaks. Look at this huge slab of meat. It's like the Flintstones or something. These bigger steaks are apparently super popular. So popular, in fact, that I'm having trouble keeping up with the faster cooking. Oh, I really hope somebody orders a well-done Bronto steak in the near future. Tier 1, Day 6. I finally started getting some of the decorations that will keep the customers from being so messy. Remember, we're going to be formal for the entire franchise, but at least they won't be throwing as much food on the floor. Right? Right. I also got a safety hob, and yeah, given how fast those thin steaks cook, I imagine this will actually be helpful for them to cook slower. Oh, and I also forgot to mention the frozen prep. I'm loving the preps for corn. They don't do a whole lot for meats, though. Tier 1, Day 7. Right, I got another choice here, but it's actually easy this time. Adding another topping is just a non-starter at the moment, especially something that complicated. And honestly, the blindfolded chef thing just doesn't bother me. So, yeah, we're going with that. The harder choice is figuring out what to buy. A mixer would be nice because, believe it or not, that'll automatically shuck corn. But you see, I've already got one of those fancy tablecloths, and I kind of like the extra cash. So it wouldn't be a bad thing to have a second one of those. I would have to upgrade a table, but I've already done that once, obviously. All right, we're going with the table. Hey, it's Future Denali again. Turns out we did not get another fancy tablecloth. We got something else. So, yeah, maybe that wasn't the best choice. But hey, it was a calculated risk, right? I don't know. What do you think? Tier 1, Day 10. This is the milestone for the farthest I've gotten in a franchise so far. I'm happy to be here. I am less happy about the card choice here. Oh man, a soup would be an absolute disaster. Soups are an entirely second course, so essentially your customers stay there twice as long. It's awful. But lunch rush is also awful. If I could cycle the customers faster, this wouldn't be that big of a deal. But we're gonna get slammed right in the middle of the day, and they're just gonna be lined up outside. Still, it is better than having them sit at the table twice as long. Let's see how long we last. And yeah, there's the lunch rush. Time to buckle down and make some food, eh? Oh, well, the lunch rush lasted through dinner, but it's over. So, should be okay from here to the end of the day. I think these guys are gonna have to wait until I fill up my frozen prep. Other than that, though, the day is essentially won. And here we are at Tier 1, Day 11. I have passed my previous personal best. And I've also managed to max out our formal bonus, so we will be getting 0 mess from the customer. We'll still get it from the stoves, but we can deal with that. At least the customers won't be throwing food at us. Oh, but it is raining. That's going to be a problem. Oh, and look how much faster the patience goes down in the rain. Come on, guys. It's not my fault. You didn't bring an umbrella. Oh, we're getting down to the wire on every table now. Oh, did you see that? Almost lost it there. I am really regretting not upgrading a sink. Alright, gotta get a steak on. Alright, wash and dish. Oh, already full. Wash the dish, wash the dish. Yep, another wash. Cook faster, steak, come on. Come on, cook, cook, cook. Alright, now eat and leave. Quick. Oh, and there it is. Well, we did get to Tier 1 Day 10, and passed it, in fact. So I did actually hit the milestone I was going for. But I'm not done yet. So sub if you want to see me progress through this, because I'll be back.